A very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome everyone to another new session of us, which is SAS Via helps the hospital save time and money with real-time medical device tracking. So this is our topic of discussion today, which we are going to discuss. And you all know me. This is Nishar. I'm a consultant trainer from Sankhyana Consultancy Services. And then yes, we will just go back to the session because we have done lots of introduction earlier. So SAS Via helps hospitals save time and money with real-time medical device tracking. So that's what we are going to discuss today. So SAS Via, when it comes to SAS Via, so it is a data analytics. It is also one of the SAS product. It is a data analytics framework to help the organizations speed up their data analyzing capabilities. So the aim of the SAS VI is to make make the big data analysis more accessible to the organization and to speed up the process at every step from the data collection to data deployment. And different industries have benefited from SAS VIA due to an accelerated timetable and the scalable operations which is going on. So it's like SAS Via has many key features that make it such a valuable asset for the organization. With SAS Via, we can say that computer operations are distributed across multiple cores. And if I can also say that multiple cores in a single server, so that is really amazing, right? In a complete single server. And once all the data and the tables are stored in the memory for as long as it is required, what is happening, the SAS VI engine offers a secure scalable multi-user environment there. So along with that, which allows for the collaboration between multiple people for the concurrent users as well. So these are all the things which is when it comes to the SAS VIA. Another important point, when if I have to talk about SAS VIA, is that SAS VIA supplements this need thanks to its secure, because it is very secure. It has a cloud-based infrastructure and data processing, and it can automatically adjust to both constrained and unconstrained environments, allowing the organization to scale computing as needed and even experiment with different approaches and even different scenarios over there. So this is just the small introduction which I wanted to give you about. So the next part, that is our main topic of discussion, that is hospital use thousands of mobility aids right nowadays, like medical devices, other pieces of equipment daily, like beds are there, mattresses are there, wheelchairs are there, and pain pumps, cardiac monitoring machines, and there is also a host of mobility aids which will help them keep the hospital running. That is very important. uh, uh, then what happens with these kind of things, with these kind of scenarios which is happening, and it is managing these so many things at one phase, managing and monitoring these items, which is becoming a major, but it is also a necessary challenge to all the hospitals, right? So staff members lose valuable time if they have to search for the available medical devices, so devices and equipment, so making real-time location tracking very more than just a convenience for them. So it is just a convenience for them. So this is what it is happening when it comes to this the hospitals which is going on there. So we are going to take a real-time example, that is with Jan Weiperman Hospital, which is there. So we are going to which is located in Belgium. We are going to take a real-world example, which is also a customer success story in our SAS, for our SAS. So we are going to take that as an example, and we are going to lead our discussion today. So coming to the agenda, as I told you, we are going to discuss about SAS VIA overview and its features, and what are the benefits of SAS VIA, SAS Visual Analytics on SAS Via, so that we can monitor the hospital asset location and to ensure optimal purchasing decisions. So this is all what we are going to discuss for today. Okay, so now so now we are just moving on to our SAS Via. So coming to SAS Via. So what is SAS Via? So we might have, which is it is a version of 3.5. So SAS Via is the latest enhancement of a SAS platform. We all know the SAS. Right now, this is a latest enhancement of our SAS platform. So it is designed to address the new and increasingly diverse needs of organizations, like with methods, different methods, accesses and deployment and scale to meet the flourishing analytics use cases out there. And also SAS Via addresses the complex analytical challenges out there of nowadays, and it is effortlessly scales to meet your future needs with cloud enabled elastic in-memory processing. Okay, we have this elastic in-memory processing which will help us give an high availability and multi-user environment for us to work with. So whenever I say SAS Via is the latest enhancement for our SAS platform, which is going whenever we are in a need to handle a large amount of data, and we will also have to get the results within seconds. So within seconds, if I want to get it, so I can go with SAS Via. Why? Because SAS has some one particular this SAS Via is having a kind of a feature which is called as cloud analytical service or CAS service. So that is called as cloud analytical service. So SAS Via uses this CAS service, the CAS services, to perform the tasks like even the smallest unit of work for this particular CAS server. Okay, with the help of the CAS server is a CAS action, they say it as. So this CAS action can lead or it can load the data, it can transform the data, it can compute statistics, perform analytics, and it can create multiple outputs for you there. That is a CAS server. So it is having, if you see the cloud enabled, so that cloud enabled is nothing but a cloud analytical service, which is what it is called. And when a program is submitted to the CAS server, what happens is nothing but that is when we are dealing with our SAS Via, and it is cloud enabled. And when a program is submitted to this cloud analytical service, so it first goes to the cloud analytical service. Whenever I'm submitting a program in SAS Via, it first goes to the cloud analytical service controller, and in that controller, the controller distributes the data to separate worker nodes. So there will be separate worker nodes, and it will distribute its data to the different worker nodes, and the nodes will perform coordinated parallel processing. So that is why it has a elastic in-memory processing or high-level parallel processing, which is going to happen on their portion of the data. So this means that they are executing the same action at the same time with the help of the cloud-enabled CAS server. So as the worker nodes complete the processing, what happens? They will then return to the controller in an order in which they finish, according to they finish. So multiple nodes perform much faster than processing the job on a one mission. So that is a kind of an advantage for us. That is why we can complete the task in a very faster way. So for that fast only I have given you this example, because it has a cloud enabled in-memory processing. So because of that CAS server, and it has a parallel processing, so at a time many people are going to work and you're getting the result faster. So that is the beauty of SAS Via. So what is SAS Visual Analytics? So it is a web-based product that leverages a SAS high performance analytics technology to empower the organizations to explore huge volumes of data very quickly. Okay, that is what we are going to concentrate in SAS Via, very quickly, to identify the patterns, trends, and opportunities for further analysis over there. So that is called SAS Visual Analytics. Moving on to our next section, that is SAS Via works harder so you can work smarter. It's a good title, right? So SAS Via works harder so that we can work smarter. So what is it telling us? So SAS Via is a kind of artificial intelligence based automation which will align to the needs and talents of your team. So according to your needs and the talents of your team, SAS VI is being aligned, keeping both the models and the progress in motion across the complete analytical life cycle. Okay, that is what its main functionality is. So with the help of the SAS VI, I can manage the data, I can develop the models, I can deploy the models. So I can develop the models, and I can visualize the models. At the end, I can deploy a model, and I can see how the model what I have prepared is working well, fine, well and good, or what. So this is all what we are going which will be happening in our SAS VI. Bring, and then one more kind of an interesting part which SAS Via which has is, it's called as bring your own language, right? It is telling bring your own language or use ours. So what is it telling? Like why SAS understands that everyone has a preferred language to work with, right, when it comes to their work. So SAS Via makes it very possible to integrate the teams and technology across the analytics lifecycle, enabling all types of SAS and open source users to collaborate with each other. So what is happening? Our cloud analytical service will integrate with a common open source languages. So that is CAS, which I had spoke about earlier. So this CAS service, CAS server will integrate with common open source languages. So the CAS action can be called directly from Java, Lua, Python, R, or REST APIs. So what is happening? Why use SAS with other open source? You might get that kind of a question when we are talking this about this one. So SAS VI enables all thinker and innovators to extract the insights from the data using their tool of choice. That is a main goal or main objective behind this particular bring your own language or use ours. So integrating SAS and the open source technology is often helpful for two main reasons. What are those? Programmatically accessing the SAS VIA using open source software, or bringing the open source software models into SAS VIA. Right, both are really very interesting and really very advantageous, looks very advantageous and fantastic to us, right? So this is all about this, where SAS Via helps integrate the other open source languages like Python, R. In case along with the SAS programming language, you also know other programming language like Python, R, or Java, or Lua. So you can integrate that with SAS and you can work with it. So this is about SAS bring your own choice. Then the next one is one platform serves the whole team. So what is this about? One platform which is going to serve the whole team. So what are they asking and what are they telling us? So here SAS Via creates a transparent and flexible shared space where everyone on the data and analytics team can work together successfully. Right, this is also very important for everyone. Wherein what is happening, there are three main important things to consider here. That is explore and combine. A wide range of tools are there in SAS, right? A wide range of tools and technologies are there, so that to find an optimal solution for any use cases. And then work faster at every stage of analytical life cycle. So thanks to massively parallel processing and intelligent automation which is there in SAS Via. And the next one is communicate your work to other teams, which is very important, right? Without communication, there will be a lot of miscommunications, misjudging happening, miscommunications happening. So communicate your work to other teams, like including non-technical audiences, using automatically generated model explanations and project summaries created via the natural language generations out there. So this is what they are telling. And then we have our next section which we are going to see, that is a complete SAS overview. So whatever I have told you now, so that we are just going to put it into a complete SAS overview. So what is that? So from raw data to operational insights that support every decision out there, right? So SAS will support from raw data to every operational insight. And then SAS Viya is an AI, artificial intelligence, analytic and data management platform that runs on a model scalable architecture. So we will see what is this model scalable architecture in the in this upcoming sections out there now. And then the next overview which we are going to see is that SAS Via is cloud enabled and allows scalable web based access for your particular data processing needs. So whatever data processing, according to your data processing needs, SAS works well. And SAS Via includes an in-memory engine and parallel processing capabilities for enhanced execution speed. That is nothing but when I had given a small introduction, that is about SAS, where SAS Via uses this cloud analytical service to perform many tasks, right? And then the smallest unit of work for this CAS server is a CAS action, which is called as a CAS action. So that CAS action can load the data, transform the data, and it can compute many statistics so that it can perform analytics and create the output for us. So that is what they are talking about. And then SAS Via enables you to use familiar SAS codes that you use to write in your SAS 9.4. So that is nothing but your basic SAS programming language. If you have learned the same code is what you're going to use even in the SAS Via. So however, with a few modifications, your code can take advantage of SAS Via in memory processing for accelerated performances over there. And then SAS Via provides integration with open source tools like Python, R, which we had seen earlier, and the other open source languages. We also saw it can be integrated with other open source languages, right? We also saw the reason why SAS with open source languages. It's just because SAS Via enables all the thinkers and the innovators to extract insights from data using their tool of choice, right? That is the reason that particular feature is also there with our SAS Via. So now we are going to see this architecture, that is a SAS Visual Analytics features. So SAS Visual Analytics is a web-based product which I have told you earlier, that is which cloud enabled with the help of a CAS service. So all you need is a browser and your web address for Visual Analytics for you to work with, right? For the Visual Analytics servers, like once you connect, you will be accessing the SAS high performance analytics. So this allows for us to reach out to for those patterns, trends and opportunities for us to do a deeper dive into the data. So once we have this massive amount of data with us, so this is what we all struggle with, right? So this massive amount of data is all which we struggle with. So we have so much of data with us, and what we can do with that data, so we can create the reports with that data, we can explore the data, and then we can share the insights, right? With the data I can create reports, explore the data and share the insights. But before we do any of these functions like creating, exploring and sharing the insights, we need to get a data into the Visual Analytics, right? So we can import our data. So it's quite easy, just there is a kind of a click like a point and click interface will bring that data right into the Visual Analytics which you're going to work with. But now what is happening behind the scenes is that the data is actually going to be stored on a server which is called as cloud analytical server, which I had discussed earlier. So that cloud which is called as CAS server or cloud analytical services. So it is a high speed, okay, our cloud analytical services, it is a high speed and it is very quick, okay, high speed, very quick, and it is scalable. So it is also scalable, so meaning like if you guys have stored with a smaller installation and you want to add some more machines to it, so that's quite easy to do that because it is SAS Via is because of this CAS server, it is scalable. And it has a node to node communication, so it has node to node communication. So there is a head node which is here, and that head node will be in charge of all the other worker nodes for you. So and it will distribute, this head node will distribute your data equally out among all the worker nodes, that so that the these worker nodes have the backup with them, therefore there is no fault tolerance happening, right? So there is no fault tolerance happening because there is the backup which is there already, so that we can make sure that if it would go down, so in case if it would go down, like we don't actually lose our data, and it is quite resilient, right? And it is quite resilient, like we will be able to withdraw the data quickly back from any difficult conditions which is happening. So that is another point to be considered. And then we have completed with our CAS and the features. What are the main core components of SAS Viya? So when we are talking about the core components of SAS Viya here, like it is an open cloud enabled analytical runtime environment which has in-memory engine, fast processing, data of any size it can handle. So that is what we had discussed earlier. And what are the simple benefits of SAS Viya? It enables the users to apply the power of SAS analytics to a massive amount of data, right? That was the first point. The next point is it empowers users to visually explore the data based on a variety of measures at amazingly fast speed. And then the next point is it enables users to quickly create powerful statistical models if the SAS Visual Statistics add-on is licensed at your site. And the next one is SAS users to work with factorization machines, forests, gradient boosting, neural networks, support vector machines, Bayesian networks. Like if the SAS visual data mining and like machine learning add-on is licensed at your site, you can do all these things. It enables users to quickly create reports or dashboards using standard tables, graphs, and gorgeous. And then it last but not the least, we have that chance users to share insights with anyone everywhere via the web source or the mobile devices also. Again, we are coming back to the SAS Visual Analytics, which has a high performance analytical technology, and it empowers the organizations to explore huge volume of data, the same point, and it has a cloud analytical service so that it can accelerate the computation and enable the organizations to drive value from massive amount of data. So what is happening? It will create an unprecedented ability to solve difficult problems, improve business performance, predict future performance, and mitigate risk rapidly and confidently. And the users can quickly design the reports or dashboards which can be viewed on the mobile devices or on the web. Right? So we are coming to our last section, using these features and the benefits of SAS Viya. There is one particular customer success story which is being told, that is Jan Viperman, where the hospital that relies on the SAS Visual Analytics on SAS Viya to monitor the hospital asset location so that they can ensure optimal purchasing decisions to them. Right? So here if you see, the hospital use thousands of mobility aids, as I was trying to tell you earlier, like medical devices and beds, mattress, wheelchairs, pain pumps, and to manage all these and to monitor these items, which is very necessary for each and every it is a kind of a challenge for everyone in the hospital. So the staff members lose valuable time if they have a search for available medical devices and equipment. So making the real time location tracking more than just convenient, which I was discussing. So at Jan Viperman Hospital, which is in Vipers, that is Belgium, analysis of the data which has been collected as a part of a tracking process, it allows for improved purchasing and operational efficiencies and inventory management for them. So by using the SAS, we can identify if the assets are under or overutilized based upon their movements. So there is a tracking device which is being attached there, and with the help of the tracking device, it is being connected, where SAS can identify the assets under or overutilized based upon their movements. So when the tracking device is put upon their movements, it can be identified throughout the hospital. So if a hospital wants to buy 3 extra bladder scanners, let's say for an example, so we can now show why this is needed, indeed a need for them to purchase. So the right equipment in a right place at a right time is very important, right? So this hospital which we are discussing is like it is like it helped the real time location system, which is called as RTLS. So more than 10 years ago, the hospital's thinking was very simple. So it's smarter to monitor the wheelchairs via RTLS, and then having the orderlies waste the time looking all over the hospital for them. So eventually the hospital expanded the use of location determination there beyond tracking devices and aids to include the detection of wandering the patients and the cases of aggressions from them. So the hospital worked with this RTLS using Wi-Fi tags later. So this turned out to be a quite labor intensive process, and every 2 years the hospital needs to change the batteries in more than 1000 tags in its inventory. And in addition to the expense of the batteries, the labor cost was also very high. So it takes like 10 minutes to install each new battery. And then Viperman hospital, like it partnered with its one more source to find a solution, and that particular source, that is called as Blayot, it uses it plug and play it with machine learning and modular RTLS provider, and that is real time tracking, that RTLS provider. So its technology allows the hospitals so that it can track the location of the equipment in a real time using the Bluetooth receivers built into the existing Wi-Fi access points over there. So what is happening, the Bluetooth tags prove to be more accurate, and then the battery operated tags. So additionally, Bluetooth tags are like less expensive, and their batteries last much longer also. So making the approach so that 10 times more cost effective also. So that is where they ended up with the real value comes from the analytics, where the switch to the Bluetooth tags was just the beginning for them, for that hospital. But later the hospital analyzes the location data using the location where the tracker is there, using SAS Visual Analytics on SAS Viya. So the data provided from there, it's useful information in two key areas, where and all it is useful in optimal utilization of assets and optimal product inventory. So by using SAS, what happened is they were able to identify if the assets are under or overutilized based upon their movements throughout the hospital. And like if so the hospital wants to buy 3 extra bladder scanners, we can now show why it is needed, why that particular thing is needed, by giving them the analytical proof. So another critical asset tracks the wheelchairs also. So because there are like they seemed to be one where needed, like extra things always it is needed, where the staff members can now see the wheelchair inventory in real time across the hospital various locations also. So more importantly, they can predict when there will be a shortage because of the analytics in the SAS Viya real-time tracking analytics, when there will be a shortage, and take appropriate actions to ensure there is always sufficient supply to them. So that is also happening. So the remote insights model like also makes it possible to visualize and analyze the broken process and bottlenecks in an organizations. So for example, the hospital can track the patient's flow, how long are the patients standing in the waiting room should be considered, right? So meeting with their physicians in the operating theaters or in the recovery rooms. So these are all to be considered. So by optimizing this process flow, additional modules were also generated for the hospital. And with the help of the remote insight model which was there, like a module, like it's possible to create dashboards also. SAS Viya was able to create dashboards that can be shared via the secured URLs. For instance, as a staff member can create a dashboard showing the availability of certain assets in all the storage rooms in that particular department there. So by clicking on the URL, a colleague can immediately see what assets are available or when shortages might occur in the future. So hospital beds with 500 beds can easily have as many as 5000 mobility assets there. So like we see that departments, they also saw that the departments tend to keep more assets in stock than necessary, so resulting in 10 to 20% over purchasing out, right? It is just saving it is cost effective. And with this data, the hospital can now optimize purchasing and maintenance as well as logistical flow of its assets. So these are all the things which is very very important when it comes to the hospital real time tracking, and how SAS Viya has helped them. Okay, so so this is all about our webinar session today, and this is our end of the session. So I guess you might enjoy this session, and it will be a good informative session for you all. So until we meet next with a good session coming forward, thank you everyone.